This is Andy Purewal for ID Boxing. I'm joined by Liam Beefy Smith here in Liverpool. Liam, I've just caught you here and you did not expect me to be here, but I appreciate you stopping by to do this. How's life?
Good, mate, yeah, all good. You?
All good. Beefy, a frustrating period in your career. Obviously, you beat Chris Eubank Jr. Everybody was expecting to see the rematch or the talk of a Conor Benn fight had surfaced. Now it seems to be you're back in, I don't say back in the frame, but it seems like the fight is going to happen again. The rematch with Junior is going to take place. Can you confirm to me if that is the case now?
You know, obviously, it's a hard one to put your finger on because, one, I'm not frustrated at all. I've just stopped Chris Eubank. My career goes on. My career doesn't depend on Chris. I'm frustrated with more my own people that are me, my own team, like basically waiting on Chris to say so, basically. In my opinion, we should have just fucked him off a long time ago and went our own route. But you know, the rematch seems to be back on now, and you know, if that's the case, that's the route we'll go.
Just talk to me about, before we do come on to the rematch then, I remember I've interviewed you probably 3 or 4 times at least since the victory earlier this year, and you said to me all of those names, the Golovkins, the Brooks, the Janny Beck fight, Tim Tszyu as well. Why is it that the team maybe hasn't reached out and looked more deeply into some of those names?
You know, to be fair, I think when you look at everything, you know, Golovkin just gave his belts up. Tim Tszyu just fought Tony Harrison. He's Manti Vacciano. Brook sat there and told me he's not ready till September. Billy Joe Saunders not ready till September. Janny Beck, yeah, that got ordered, but I signed an agreement for the rematch, so I'm not going to fight Janny Beck and getting sued and getting fined left, right, and centre because I'm obliged to a rematch. But you know, in the same sentence, they should be, you know, getting legal letters and getting sued because they're well over the time frame.
How far over that time frame are they, Liam?
Well, look, I don't know. This fight should have happened by May 20th, by what I was told. But we'll see. We'll see what goes on this week. I'm being told it's announced this week, so let's see if it is.
On that note, is there a sense of relief that at least you know that your next fight 99.9% seems to be will be Chris Eubank Jr?
No, but my next fight will be June. 99.999%. I'm fighting June regardless whether it's Chris or anybody else. If it's Chris, I beat him last time. I beat him again.
99.99% sure he will be. Talking about the rematch this time around, then, do you expect anything different?
No, I don't. I expect the same outcome, the same result. So I think Chris will come at me a little bit more. Yes, because of everything I said before the first fight. He can't box me like that. He makes too many mistakes, and I'll punish him for every mistake he makes like that. And I feel he's just paid the ultimate price for that. You know, everything Chris prides himself on has just happened to him in one night. You know, go and watch the gloves are off back. He said he's never even been budged. Never mind anything else. We went on about the sparring story. Sparring story or not, mate, you've just been flattened, dropped, stopped, buzzed, towel come in. Everything happened to you in the one night, and it was me who done it to you. So, again, you've got to come with something different this time. I don't have to do nothing different.
Beefy, obviously, I'm interested to get your thoughts on the psychological aspect. We've just had Lara Wood 2 announced, and some people have suggested that maybe it wouldn't have been such a good idea for Lee Wood to step back in the immediate rematch because of what happened in that fight. You put yourself in your own fight and those shoes. You've just stopped Chris Eubank Jr. It was a big defeat for him, an ego-bruising defeat as well as the build-up you've just mentioned. Do you think that he was trying to get away from that fight and that's why it's taken so long?
Do you think he was trying to get away from that fight? Are you allowed to answer?
I have to stay neutral.
The fight suck. The deadline date to activate the rematch. Now they're probably over it, but are probably using contract things to stay in it because they tried their best to make the Conor Benn fight. That's a fact, and I think the only reason that fell through is because of the British Boxing Board, the control, they stay firm on it. I feel Conor wanted it, Eddie wanted it, Chris wanted it. I just think when the board stood strong the other day and said like that won't be happening and blah blah blah, I think that's the reason that fight's not happening.
I want to get your thoughts about, obviously we've seen that from Eddie Hearn's interviews last week that Conor's been looking and exploring the options of getting a licence out in the States, and again it seemed to be at one point that was going to be the most likely fight to take place next. What were your thoughts on them going to those lengths to try and produce a Eubank Jr Benn fight?
You know, they need a big fight for Conor. That's a big fight because of the dad. So again, I've got not really much to say on that. If Conor fights regardless, if he fights a bin man next, it's going to be like tainted, if that's the right word. You know, he's not clear yet. The WBC have cleared him and ranked him, but nobody else has, and the public certainly haven't cleared him. So, you know, let's see what Eddie does with Conor.
But if you're not a man to shy away from anybody, you'll step in the ring with anyone who's put in front of you. What is it now for you? Is it world titles? Is it other big fights beyond Eubank Jr? What else do you look at?
Look, again, I said all along, my goal to stay in boxing was to be a two-time world champion. If it's not them type fights, it's fights that pay me more money and secure me and my family's future. I'm 34 now, I've been in this boxing a long time, I paid my dues, and that's it. I'm not in ticking over fights, I'm not in fights people are going to be not interested in. I'm not in undercard fights either. You know, I want big fights, one last crack at a world title or one last crack at the big time, so to speak, and then I'll go out happy.
How active do you feel you have to be to reach that point? I'm sure you won't thank me for saying, obviously 34 now. I'm
happy how active I've been. You know, since I lost in Russia, I've had good momentum, and that's why people are saying I'm getting better. People are saying, you know, he's not aging, because I'm getting momentum, and I've always begged for my whole career.
Because of the delay between the first and what seems to be the second fight now with Chris Eubank Jr, Liam, is there a sense of not frustration, but is it more personal now because he's almost held up your career by not committing to the rematch?
Maybe, but then I just had a huge fight, huge build up with Chris Eubank Jr. Fought him in January. I'm fighting June. It's the first month and the 6th month. It's not too drastic, drastic a gap, but I probably did want to fight May, yeah. But it is what it is.
Well, June, Chris Eubank Jr rematch. Where?
I'm told Manchester, the same arena again. Yeah, I tried everywhere in Liverpool, the arenas, the two football stadiums, Everton included, and it's just a no-go this year. So it looks like I'll be back at Manchester. But again, I said this to them last time. They thought I was messing around. Chris hasn't got the best of records in this Manchester arena. I've got a perfect record in there.
Beefy, just to move away from yourself, get your thoughts on a few other topics before I let you shoot it off. Obviously, you've got Josh Taylor in camp. Had his fight with Teofimo Lopez officially announced June 10th out in New York. Just your take on that bout?
Yeah, good fight. Someone I've rated over the years, Teofimo Lopez. I've been a fan of his. Thought he was going to be the breakout star. But look, that's been brilliant. Beat Lomachenko, but seemed to have come unstuck a little bit, like lost himself. There's no, like I said, look, no secret to see what he said in the ring. Have I still got it? His confidence seems shot to bits, and I think it's a perfect time for Josh Taylor to get Teofimo Lopez.
Obviously, Josh hasn't fought yet since teaming up with Joe Mackendeck. You've seen him now in the gym for a few months at either side of his injury, of course. Have you seen that undisputed status? Have you seen that level of a fighter in the gym?
Yeah, I have. I've seen him get better and better in spars. I've seen him training, very well for the Jack Carter rematch, which is a shame. I felt too for both of them. And I'm excited to see him under Joe Declan. I'll be totally honest with you. He seems happy here. He's fitted right in, and I'm looking forward to seeing him under Joe Declan.
Got JJ Metcalf and Kevin Ajarko returning on the May 20th card out in Ireland on the Katie Taylor Chantel Cameron bill. Just on JJ Metcalf, Dennis Hogan for that IBO title.
Yeah, again, two of them are flying, looking good in the gym, bouncing off each other. JJ with Dennis Hogan, it's a good fight. Obviously, Dennis Hogan's been around a long time. When I was world champion, he was coming through. I was going to fight him. Again, I think that's a good fight for JJ. Definitely at this time, JJ's confidence is through the roof at the minute. He's putting in career best performances of late. And I think it's the right time for him to fight Dennis Hogan now.
Obviously, you've been around JJ for a number of years, Liam. almost a bit of a swan song stage of his career. How happy are you to see him progressing in the manner that he is and getting a fight such as the Dennis Hogan one?
Yeah, look, I've been around him a long time. I've boxed on the same shows as him when he's lost. So I've seen the ups and downs he's had. I spoke to him, a little bit on a personal level than boxing, and he'll probably retire himself. I think he has. He had, both his feet out the door nearly. Just hadn't announced that he was done. And to see him turn his career around, it's been great to see, great to watch, and I'll be rooting for him on May 20th, and hopefully he can go and get the IBO title, and then he works himself into some big fights.
Beefy, we did a Zoom interview a couple of weeks ago around the Amir Khan failed UKAD test. At the time you said you didn't really want to say too much until you had the chance to just read up on it, look up on it more so yourself. Some time's passed. What's been your takeaways since?
I still haven't. I seen something he put out the other day saying he's cleared, so look, I'm not going to comment too much on it. I never got time, mate. I've been too busy to read up on it, and it's past. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'll be honest with you, it's like news. I forgot all about it.
Beefy, just a couple of fights to get your thoughts on the horizon. Next weekend, a huge one in the middle of the night. Tank Garcia. I imagine you, like everybody's going to tune in, but what's your take from it?
I think Tank wins inside 4 or 5 rounds. I just think he hits too hard, especially for someone like Ryan Garcia. But we've seen him like lacklustre in the past until he finds the knockout. This one, I think he goes for it from the start. I think he's got a needle with Ryan Garcia, and I think we're going to get the best Tank.
Haney Lomachenko in May as well on the same night as the Taylor Cameron fight you fought.
That's a good fight. I'm rooting for Lomachenko, was one of my favourites. I'd love him to do it. Tough fight for him. Size-wise, I think it could be a little bit like the Lopez fight, just a bit too big for him. But I open on, if he's not too big for him, then Lomachenko can easy, fiddle Haney out.
And just a final one, Beefy. We haven't seen or heard anything recently about your brother Callum. Have you got any update around the Beterbiev fight?
No, and I think Beterbiev asked for a 2-week delay on the negotiations, so that's where they're at.
Right, Beefy, I've kept you longer than what you probably thought, but I appreciate you as always doing this interview. Thank you.
Mate, thank you.